Here's a video of the Canik METE install. I didn't see anything online on any forums. I'm not a part of any forums or on YouTube that shows the trigger install for these, only the older models. Again, not the METEs. So I'm gonna take this apart to show you how to install the trigger. This comes with the gun. Now, when they take this part out, I'm just gonna punch it through. This whole piece comes out. Just keep that as a retaining, as a spring underneath. And also be aware of how this position, how it's oriented, where the high end is on the forward side and the flat end is on the rear side. Comes out relatively easy. Hear that click? Okay, this will pop out. This already came out. Again, this sits up like this in there. Put that together. So get these part out. I'm gonna take these two out as well. Again, this looks like it's like pressed out, but it's not. It's a cross that goes all the way through. It really doesn't, I didn't think it mattered which goes out first or what order. Pull this one out as well. So before you do that, I almost forgot, this spring has to come off. So just take it off of the ledge that it sits on. And I just keep it rested right there underneath. Should be fine. Let's pull that out. And the last pin to take out is in the rear. And just FYI, I have approximately maybe 200 to 300 rounds to do this thing. So it's relatively new. The pins come out pretty easily. At this point, I'm going to take the forward section out. Again, keeping that spring in. If it comes out, then at least you know how it sits. Okay, good. Noting the pins right there. And if need be, you just pull it out if need. Okay, at this point, the whole assembly just pops straight out. So understand that this spring is in there this way. If you were to remove it, it's fine. I'm going to just keep it in there. So I already did the trigger. However, you would, the stock one looks like this, right? And the stock one has 2 pins, and the aftermarket, in this case, it's a Freedomsmith, only has 1 pin. It comes with pin halfway pushed out, just like here. Okay, so you just drive it out. So the latch is open. And this could be removed. This metal piece can be removed, and literally you don't have to save that pin. You just keep it with the stock one, and you put in the new one, and you put it in. I found that using the pliers was really easy. Just make sure you have something on the other side, like a washer, so that the pliers do not cause any abrasions or scuff up the material on the outside of this trigger. And that's it. Removable. Put it back in once it's flush. Not so smooth here. Okay. That was a lot more difficult than it looked, but definitely was not that bad. Get that pin, that spring in there. Make sure it's seated properly. And then make sure the trigger is going to be lined up correctly. Okay. At this point, I'll put it in reverse order. I'm going to put this piece back first. Make sure the trigger lines up, and I always found it to be convenient to use guide make sure it's lined up and slide right in. Okay, so that slid right in there through the trigger. Now you want to make sure that the wire, or the spring I mean, sits back on top. Okay, next thing, I'm going to take this spring, put it back on top, We go in here. And again, remember, flat face facing rearward. Okay, so this is going to be, it's offset, so the rod is on the upper end. Once it goes in halfway, you can hear a click. And that click is going to be the spring with a black head on top. And they'll be touching this little divot in the center of this pin. Okay, see it right there. Just get it through. Okay, before it goes all the way through, gotta put this back in as well. Push it through. 2 more pins, and that's it. This one goes through here. You can see that there's an extra. It's just the way, you can't mistake which way it goes in. I kind of just took this and I moved it around as I forced this in. And it helps to have a plier to gently put it back in line before I push it in some more. I definitely don't want to bang it in and just try to force it in without a hammer. And there's no shavings that comes out on that end. Last thing is just the rear side. It's not tapered, so it really doesn't matter which side goes in which side comes out. But again, check that it's open and free. Once it is, you know it's a clear passageway. You hear a click once it goes in, so it's very nice. And that should do it. You put the top on. Function check. A lot crisper than the, lot more crisp than the stock trigger. It looks nice too. Hope this helps.